question on, I would like an item added to the agenda.
We can't add to. We can take away from, but we cannot add to.
Right, you're correct, cannot add. That's why I am asking why the item that I asked to be put on the agenda yesterday was not put on the agenda
Regarding the TCE,
regarding,
and I spoke to an individual and I explained to them that the process is coming in during public comment, and then the board decides collectively if we want that on the agenda. That's the process we put in place.
you spoke to this individual?
I don't know if it's that individual or not, but every individual has the same criteria. We're not gonna treat one person differently than we are somebody else. Everybody gets treated the same.
So wouldn't it make more sense to put the item on the agenda and then let us, as a board, decide if we want to scratch it off? You can't add to the agenda, but you can take away.
But the process is they come in during public comment, they get 3 minutes to talk, and then if we determine it's something we feel
We add it to
needs
the
to be on
agenda.
the agenda, we add.
And make a
That is the
decision.
process.
So,
And then the board as a whole has the say in that.
okay. We can talk about it more, I guess, when we discuss this item, this other item that's on the agenda.
Second.
What, is there a motion?
Oh,
No, I didn't make a
I'll
motion.
move to approve the agenda.
I'll second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Sheila, you're first. Thank you, conciliation.
You were always first, Sheila.
Okay, so here's November. And December.
You want to get this? Let me just give her.
Yep. Next, you have consider approving and signing resolution naming depositories.
Yes, so, when the state auditors, did their audit, they want me to remove off of the naming depositories any banks that I cannot produce bank statements for. So in the past, the naming of the resolutions was always for banks, that the county could potentially invest with, and state auditors, want a bank statement. I mean, so I'm removing one bank.
Even if we get a.
Well, I don't, there's one bank on here that I don't
Okay.
use anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had to take their, max resolution down from 2.5 million down to 0. So really, that's the only change that's on this, is just I'm providing by what the state auditors are
Okay.
wanting.
So if they don't give a bank statement, I guess,
Yeah, they want to see bank statements of
Right.
all the county funds, and so they told me that I don't have a bank statement for it. I said, well, because I
Oh.
don't bank with them,
Okay.
so I don't have a bank statement.
we can always add
So
it.
they
You
don't
add it on
want-
there just potentially in case you would ever use that.
Yeah, but they said because I haven't used them since 2015, they just wanna
Sure.
clean the depository up, so. Some housekeeping.
Okay, I'll read the resolution before we do anything with it. resolved that the Board of Supervisors of Harrison County, Iowa, approves the following list of financial institutions to be depositories of the Harrison County funds in conformance with all applicable provisions of Iowa Code, Chapter 12C.2. The Harrison County Treasurer is hereby authorized to deposit the Harrison County funds in amounts not to exceed the maximum approved for each respective financial institution as set out below. Logan State Bank in Logan, $10 million. Mid-States Bank in Missouri Valley, $10 million. Community Bank in Dunlap, $2.5 million. United Bank in Dunlap, $30 million. Certification, I hereby certify that foregoing is a true and correct copy of a resolution of the Harrison County Board of Supervisors adopted at a meeting of said public body duly called and held on this day. A quorum being present, as said resolution remains of record in minutes of said meeting, and it is in now full force and effect.
Okay, so see where it says.
You took from 2.5 million to 0.
Right,
Community.
yeah, we just want.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the one,
Yeah.
that was my
Take
question.
that.
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? It's a resolution, so we'll do a roll call. Ami, yes. Rebecca?
Yeah.
Tony?
Yes.
Can you sign both of these?
Yes.
And I would like a copy of that if I could.
This?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next, you have consider approving the annual Harrison County investment policy.
This is the same policy we enacted.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. So,
No changes?
no changes to it whatsoever, other than the date at the top
Okay.
is 2026. That's the only change. So
In a
it's the same.
nutshell, can you give it to us in a nutshell?
So it talks about the scope of investments, the delegation of authority, which is me, the objectives of investment policies, the prudence, the instruments eligible for investments, the prohibited investments and investment practices, and the investment maturity limitations, diversification, safekeeping and custody, ethics, conflict of interest, reporting, and investment policy review amendment. Those are the sections. This was created by Treasurers Association.
I was gonna say, it's a state thing.
And ISAC helped with the creation of this, so it names all the Iowa Code chapters that pertain to the investment policy, and, yeah.
Make a motion to approve the annual Harrison County investment policy.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I just need you to sign the last page.
It should just say to make money on investment. Should be all you have to say on it.
Unfortunately, that's not how it works.
You've done very well, though.
Do you want to date these?
Sure.
Take care of the date on these. Please?
Can I get a copy of that too?
Sure.
Please. I'll give you my spare time.
There you are.
Thank you.
Engineer updates.
It's been a couple weeks, I thought I better come. Didn't have any items for you to approve, just wanted to let you know, working on equipment, so when your budget amendment, the next budget, trying to focus on updating equipment. Trucks are a year and a half out to get a truck built, which is kind of disturbing, because that's not this budget, that's not the one you're working on, it should be the one after that, so, trying to figure out how to make that quicker. Trying to get some brush cut, but our excavators, all three of them are down, our Komatsu going in for some undercarriage, I think we're still running it gingerly. The Cat has a cracked coupler which holds onto the tree shear, and the Sandy's waiting on parts from China, so. Struggling with equipment right now, we've got one grader in for transmission rebuild as well. As far as work we've been doing, Crescent's been out of rock for about a month now, and I think we're a couple weeks from getting rock, so. We like to use our truck drivers to haul rock to the stockpile, so we have it here in the spring when we need it, so. Get a little nervous about that we're not building piles. Other than that, I'm just working on the county 5-year program that we do. They changed the dates on that, usually in April, I guess, but hope to have that for you about the time we get the budget done as well.
You have some changes to it, updated, the 5-year?
Yeah, there's a lot of things in there, I'm not sure how they were to be paid for.
Right.
So, it's supposed to be fiscally.
It's just a plan, you know?
Well, it's supposed to be fiscally
A
constrained.
goal, I should say.
Well, you have to explain where the money comes from
Yeah.
too. A lot of those are explained as local, I don't see you having that amount. I think $8 million of stuff that doesn't really fit yet, so, yeah. Working on that, and I'll explain that one later, but hopefully I can bring that to you in a couple weeks.
Are we getting anywhere with getting that dam pulled out of the ditch up by Woodland Campground?
I didn't need to work on that one yet.
I got another phone call. I've actually got 2 phone calls on that since the last time you and I spoke.
Ice dam, or,
No, a guy put a dam in the ditch.
I thought we just got through dealing with that.
This is, somebody bought a lot in there, and dammed up the ditch.
Yeah, I was going to try to find the owner. It's like an out-of-state Nebraska owner.
Bellevue, I believe he's,
Bellevue or something.
his address, but it's for sale, I was told.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, if Crescent gets rock, what are the chances of hauling directly from the quarry this spring to the roads instead of going to the stockpile?
I mean, we like to do that. The problem is the rounds are long enough. I don't know that we're gonna get that done. It's hard enough to get it done from the stockpiles to shorten up the drive.
Okay.
But, yeah, just getting that done. Crescent gets really busy, and sometimes there'll be a line for an hour down there, you know, just waiting to get it, so it's kind of nice to get in and out during the winter. Yes, I would like to just get it to the road too.
You have to get it when you can get it.
You have to get it when you can get it. The problem is when they start crushing too, it might be on a ledge we don't want, you know, the gummy yellow stuff, or we don't know what we're gonna get, so we may have to wait for that to sell before we start hauling too.
I thought Fort Calhoun was gonna go to an open pit, so they get better quality rock.
They did, they're $5 a ton higher than Crescent right now, so I've kind of reached out to them, seeing if we get contract and get a better price, but.
Is it better rock now? I mean, that's what quit taking it. It's all wet and water we're taking.
It kind of depends what layer you're in. They go through these ledges, and there's some you don't want to be in, and some you do, so the higher quality stuff usually sells for concrete or asphalt, so it's kind of hard to compete with that as well. They're $5 a ton higher than Crescent, and I haven't figured that one out yet.
And they do water, and I think that's where a lot of those chunks come from.
Yes.
Stuff
Clear
like
balls and
clumps up,
stuff.
yeah.
I see Denison brings it in, or say Crawford County brings it in by rail car out of Fort Dodge, which is the best rock. But I think it costs way too much to do it.
Yeah, they don't really have any other options
Yeah.
there. I haven't checked what that price is. I think the per ton price is cheaper than just the shipping's,
Yeah.
trucking's.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, John. Consider approval for opioid contracts for K-9 in jail.
You have the contracts.
Where do I have that from?
There should be 2 pages. And the opioid committee already approved it. One's for jail.
K-9
For-
fund, they approved $10,000 for the K-9 fund,
Yeah, and another one for the jail.
and then jail is $10,417.50.
What's the deal doing with their funds?
It's an RFID health monitoring system, and they told us that other counties have approved that for opioid funds. So
Okay.
it would help monitor a person who's in withdrawal or who's not. I mean,
Okay.
other people too, but. And they said that they wanted the startup money, but they didn't think they'd need ongoing funds. They were gonna add that to their budget.
They must be buying a specific system based on that amount.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what Brandon talked about last week.
Yeah.
Motion to approve, you wanna do them 2 separate, or do you want to do one both together?
However you want to make
Make a motion to approve the opioid contract for K-9 and for jail.
Second.
it. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next, we have consider approval for the comprehensive plan.
I went through that, did you find some things, I mean,
Yeah, these pages.
This is
were
what
the-
you found?
These were
Okay.
the 3 pages I had Matt print off that she corrected.
okay.
The law
Same.
enforcement, they had, left out Logan and
Mhm.
at the top, and then at the bottom, they had added Logan, they had Logan in there, that had their own law enforcement, so she corrected that one.
Yeah.
And then the next page was where it said Montgomery County instead of Harrison County, and then the
Oh,
last
okay.
one, the last page said Willow Creek
Yes, I saw
Nature
that.
Center instead of Willow Lake Nature, I mean, they were small things, but I figured it should
Typos,
be
yeah.
right,
Yep, it's gonna be around for a lot of years, so.
right.
I'll move to approve with changes, the comprehensive plan.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Discussion regarding payment to VW Control Specialist. Do we have another payment to them?
No, that was supposed to be all one. She didn't get my second email that asked to change it.
So
So
Which one's
The old soldier and the VW should be the same?
that should all be the same one.
Okay.
Yeah. So back in, October, I believe it was, we approved a payment to B&W Brush Control for $16,000, and the original bid was $10,000. I've got the minutes from that day, and I've got the minutes in the agenda. And I found in the minutes from back in April, we approved the $10,000. These amounts are listed, and it says right in the minutes, the prices are quoted as not to exceed amounts. On the quote from B&W, it says, as before, the prices quoted are the total maximum for each ditch. We will work on a time and materials basis not to exceed the amount quoted. So I feel like we didn't do our homework, and we approved a bid for $16,000 for something that they said right in their own contract was not to exceed 10.
After further thought, I do. But, I mean, what's done is done.
Right, it's gotta get done regardless.
Yeah.
We have an obligation to provide brush control on these districts. We're either gonna pay it last year or we're gonna pay it next year.
And we don't determine that they asked for it, not us.
Correct.
I do agree with you on that.
But the
Going
problem,
forward.
the problem is, they did this project at 10,000. We paid them 16. What if someone had bid 12,000, and we took the $10,000 bid because it was lower? And if that person could come back and say, wait a minute, I bid 12,000 and you passed my bid up, but you paid this guy 16,000. That could bite us in the butt.
I see your point.
My only, we should not have approved it. I should not have voted yes. But this is a total, he has a total, it's not to exceed 29,000. So I've got a request into Michelle, because my feeling is,
Take
if
that out
we
next
haven't
year.
paid the others, we should take it out of those.
I agree with you.
He should have came in and did a change order.
Right,
Yes.
exactly. If he'd have come in and done a change order, I wouldn't have liked it.
So we'll need to adjust it next year.
And we'll going forward, we will do that.
Yep.
Can we, if these others haven't been paid, can we subtract a little bit from each of those?
I would assume they've all been paid out of each. I don't think so, because it's, when we do drainage like that,
Right, it comes
you're
out
not
of district.
coming as, you're not sitting here as board supervisor. You're acting as a trustee for this district and a trustee for this district. So you can't pull from this district to this district. They're different landowners and we're trustees for
Different
two
money.
different entities.
Right.
So So to pull out of one to fund the other, we cannot.
I would just ask that in the future, maybe we table some of these things. I actually found this stuff when I was going through my files for year-end and trying to organize all my files, and I started finding some of these things that, you know, as a new supervisor, I
do
should be asking
agree
more
with this going
questions.
forward, I agree.
Yeah.
And I think we really need to look at this brush control. We got behind. During COVID, it stopped all brush control, fell behind. Now
And
we're
everybody
playing
is
catch up.
asking, yeah.
I think there's probably some stuff they can spread that we can get more than 2 years out of.
You know, the REC has things which really,
It's job security for a contractor. They're coming in every 3 years, putting a chemical out there that's only gonna last 3 years. If we can get something that lasts longer, I think that's the best option.
I want to find out what the REC uses, because that's a very good product.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
Discussion regarding a resolution policy for county roads.
And that's what brought up this, why I put this on the agenda. Because I actually typed up a resolution. I only had one, I didn't make you guys copies. Here it is. I don't know if you want to just read it, or you want me to read it.
Go ahead.
And I think we should have the county attorney look at it, but I didn't want to, bother her if you guys didn't want to do it. It's a resolution of the county board establishing procedures for the payment of bids and setting not to exceed amounts. Whereas the county board of Harrison County, state of Iowa, is responsible for the prudent management of public funds and ensuring transparency and accountability in the awarding and payment of bids for county projects and purchases. And whereas it is necessary to establish clear guidelines regarding the payment of bids and the maximum amounts, not to exceed amounts, for such payments to safeguard county finances and promote fair business practices. Now therefore be it resolved by the County Board of Harrison County as follows. Approval of bids. All bids must be submitted for county contracts, projects, or purchases shall be reviewed and approved by the county board or its designated committee in accordance with applicable procurement policies and procedures. Payment of approved bids is payment for any bid awarded by the county. It shall only be made upon satisfactory completion of the work or delivery of goods/services as verified by the responsible county department or official. Not to exceed amounts. No payment for any bid shall exceed the total amount approved by the county board. Any proposed changes, change orders, or additional costs must be submitted to the board for review and approval prior to the work being done and prior to payment. Documentation, all payments shall be supported by appropriate documentation, including but not limited to invoices, receipts, certification of completion or delivery as applicable. Transparency and reporting, the county auditor shall maintain a public record of all bids awarded, payments made and not to exceed amounts, and shall provide regular reports to the county board. Effective date, this resolution shall be effective immediately upon its passage and approval. Passed and adopted by the Harrison County Board of Harrison County, State of Iowa.
Yeah, I would run it by Sarah, make
Yeah.
sure we're not superseding state law.
Right. I think that, we need to get it done as soon as possible. This is a possibility of covering us, that if in the future someone says, well, you paid, like when we paid the downstairs on the cement work, and we paid this B&W, if we have somebody come in that says, oh, well, you paid them more than what they bid, if we have this in place, okay, well, yeah, but as of, February 5th or whenever we get this done, this is the policy. So, thank you.
Discussion regarding chapter 21, open meeting, agenda items, deliberation, ministerial business.
I was going over the IPIB training. Regarding open meetings, that type of thing. And the item we already talked about, the agenda, as it says on here. items can't be added. The only time items can be added is in cases of emergency. So sometimes, in the essence of time, you say we have to put things in front of the whole board to get things on the agenda. But sometimes in the essence of time, if you wait, you can't wait. And like I said before, we can add things. If I put something on the agenda, I would like something on the agenda, I can't call you and Tony to ask you what you think about it. And even along the lines of the paper the slide that says deliberation, even in public comment, we cannot even, as it says here, we can't even give our opinion. The threshold is very low. So if we ask someone to come and speak during public comment, all we can say, and this, I kind of am doing this for the public's sake too, because people say, why don't you answer us? Why don't you talk to us? This right here is why we don't, because we could be held responsible by IPID because of chapter 21. And so we can't even give our opinion on it. All we can do is ministerial purposes. We can say, we'll put this on the agenda next week. So that's why I'm not sure. I guess I want to ask you guys why, and this is ministerial. That is why we don't want to talk about the TCE on the agenda.
Why we don't want to?
Right.
We're gonna have public comment on it here in a minute, I'm pretty sure.
I guess where I'm at on that is that, what can we do? Other than ask the DNR, the only thing we have is the wells. We asked the DNR.
But no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop you right there. See, we can't talk about it. We cannot talk about it.
I would go with a discussion item on that.
Right, and that's why,
That's
that's
it, though.
exactly why I would like it on the agenda, because I can't hear your opinion. I don't wanna hear it.
You
All I
can make comments at the end, it says here though. Supervisor reports and comments, questions. So, it's covered there.
But under deliberation,
You can't deliberate it, no, you can state your comment or opinion.
you have to be very careful. It says that it's a low threshold, including any discussion of members' opinions, even if merely hypothetical or final action. So that's why I would like it on the agenda, so that we can openly talk about it, but, and the email, I can't forward the email from the gentleman to you guys.
We'll send it to
Nate.
to Meg, and she sends that stuff out to us.
Right, but you have to be careful not to get into this, we're talking about open meetings, you have to be very, very careful not to get into a chain meeting. Because if I send something to Megan, and then she sends it to both of you, that's the same as a meeting.
It's not.
It's not.
It's citizens' information. The citizen is sending information to one supervisor. They might not have the contacts for all supervisors, so it's just getting the information out. No decision is being made.
Right, but you
No
can't.
deliberation is
And
happening.
any individual
It's
can
just
send it to us all,
information.
you know.
Right, they do. But the information in this email is really good, and it was something that we should be talking about. We should
Yeah,
actually
we can put
discuss
it on the agenda for discussion.
I'd like to see.
This is very much a federal issue. I feel like we're getting pulled into a campaign.
No?
This is a federal issue. And we had a meeting at the Logan Community Center where the Army Corps gave a great presentation, explained everything that's happening. They're very transparent, they're getting the facts out to people. The folks that live there know what's going on.
But I'm not gonna discuss it because it's not on the agenda. I would like to put it on the agenda for next week. I'm asking you
Taryn,
guys.
can you
if
put that on the
That's
agenda
fine.
for next week?
discussion on TCE.
Yep,
And the
county's role,
role in this TCE.
And,
like this other.
and these, and the questions from this.
Yeah, have them
This
send
is
it out
not,
to us.
this is not the email that you got.
Okay,
I can, yes, make sure the gentleman has your email.
yeah, provide him with our email so he can send the same thing
Yeah.
to us.
Okay. And just along that line, this chapter 21. The ministerial purposes, and this I'm partly for the public's sake, we can talk about meeting dates. That is, I know ministerial makes it sound like it's church, but it's, and we can talk about payments,
You mean without
it being on the agenda. We can, it says on here, you have to read it, but, and so when we are talking about what meetings we're gonna go to, who's gonna go to what meeting, we can talk about that, those things, under ministerial.
Sure, we can ask how, if another supervisor has a family member that's in the hospital or not doing well, you can ask those things. It's great to avoid one-on-one conversations in public because those folks that are in that group setting don't know if you're talking business or personal.
Right,
So it's better to just avoid it. You were at the pancake feed Sunday, we passed by each other and said hello, but that was it.
right,
We didn't have one-on-one conversations because the perception is not well.
right. So, anyway, I just wanted to.
Yeah, I don't see you guys except for here.
Yeah,
I
maybe
think
on the highway.
Yeah.
that, this is for the public's sake, these slides are actually, even though there's no training scheduled right now, you can go to ipib.gov.iowa.gov, I think, and get these slides, and it is huge on explaining why we do things the way we do. And I'm trying to be a stickler, and so if I try to shut you down, it's not because I don't want to hear what you have to say. If I try to shut Tony and Brian down, I'm just trying to protect us because we could get in trouble. And the fines, the attorney explained during the training, the fines are personal. They won't go to the county. They can find Tony, or they can find me, or they can find Brian, whoever does it. So I'm not into being fined. So that's why
And can we get this anywhere? This is a good little book.
I have it.
Okay,
Yep.
everybody wants one.
Right. These
These
slides.
are real handy.
These slides
Probably
don't,
summarize it better.
they don't give you the actual law, but they kind of
Summarize.
describe it, yeah, in the lawyer's terms, so. Appreciate you letting me bring that up.
We got minutes from January 22nd.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from January 22nd.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. February 10th at 9 a.m. We will have a joint CNR board meeting at the Potawatomi County Courthouse.
Okay, just a second.
February 10th.
February 10th. At what time?
9 a.m.
You better buy donuts this time.
I talked with John Rosengren and also Brian Shea. It was decided it's best to
Meet there.
have an in-person meeting and discuss some of the issues that are going on there.
With CNR.
Yeah,
Is Rosengang gonna come in for
I
that?
believe so.
Okay, good.
He was the one that requested it,
Okay.
and then I worked with Brian and got the meeting set up.
Now we have tomorrow morning, not we, but the compensation board meeting is tomorrow morning. My understanding that's an open meeting,
Yes.
so the public can be there. My understanding is that one of us can be there.
One can.
All right.
We've never attended the compensation board before, so I can't answer that.
No, nobody's ever attended,
Yeah.
but,
I think everybody can come. It's an open meeting.
Okay. They'd have to do an agenda before now.
They probably have an agenda, I would
The
assume.
agenda is up.
Okay,
I don't know if it's listed on there that the board may be there. I'm not
that's the
sure.
thing I don't know.
yeah,
And what time's the meeting?
9 o'clock in the conference
We're
room.
too late to post it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we meet next week on the 3rd.
Yes, for a budget meeting.
We have what's the final thing, we're getting close on
At 9
So
AM.
that's-
And
that's
then
what
the
I got.
10th is reserved in case we need another day.
Okay,
If we have to use the 10th, it'll be 11 AM, so that we can do it.
11 AM.
Because we have the 9 AM at Potawatomi, so.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. 11 AM. And then
And that's an if needed.
next Tuesday, the 3rd, is at 9 o'clock, but don't you and I have a meeting, because we have to talk about unions before we go into, what she call that?
Yes, so that meeting was gonna be at 9:30. The budget meeting at 9:30, the union negotiations at 9.
Okay. It is actual union negotiations,
Yeah. Well, it's us,
it's kind of
we
free,
talk about what we want to propose initially,
right?
and that will be exempt session. Starts in open session, goes into exempt, comes back.
And that's
to
on
open
what
session.
day?
That's on the 3rd.
So I won't be there.
You won't be here till
9:30.
9:30.
9:30. The comment I had, I will give that to Megan or something to share with you guys, because I can't share that.
Okay? And
Well,
then,
Megan won't be there either.
No,
Yeah,
Taryn.
maybe.
Terrence,
Okay.
and then February 5th, next week,
Conference board.
is the conference board meeting in the engineers
Mhm.
conference room. That is open to the public, that's the assessors meeting, basically.
It'd be nice if more of the members would show up. We've done it every hour you can do,
And that is at
and that is at
11 AM.
11, yep.
And then, our meeting is at 9 o'clock here. I believe we're gonna discuss salaries. Is that correct, on the 5th, next Thursday?
I don't know if salaries are on the agenda or not, I haven't looked at that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not sure what that was. We have a meeting next Tuesday. Is that budget?
At 9:30, correct,
9:30 for me, or,
for you guys,
9:30 for you.
okay,
9:30 for the budget meeting.
okay.
9 o'clock for the, it'll be an open meeting, but then it has to go into closed session, exempt session, excuse me.
Okay.
And then the 5th, we don't know if it's talking about salaries, but you had asked for conversation about whether or not in 2027 we were going to put a supervisor on conservation and public health,
Yep.
and you had asked that it be on the 5th. Do you
Okay.
still want that on the agenda?
That's fine, yeah.
Okay. Taryn, if you would do that, we can discuss it at least and get that
Okay.
settled.
What's the meeting of the 10th for?
10th is the CNR at 9
Yeah,
AM.
Pot County.
At
Yes,
9 AM, and then we have to be back here by 11,
maybe.
maybe, possibly.
We don't know if that's needed yet.
Okay,
So that's,
I think we should do noon and just have lunch. I'll bring,
Pot County.
okay.
And that's at 11 o'clock on the 10th. This is the busy time of year for meetings.
Do you know how Megan is coming on the budget of
So that's.
budgets, as far as she had said she wanted to have an amount for each department?
Not that I'm aware of.
Will she be in tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, yeah, she has to be at that. So
Good.
those two things are, what we just talked about on the 5th, and then, the discussion regarding the TCE and the questions from the gentleman. I will get that to Megan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Let's see, haven't had any other meetings to report on? I guess not.
The board will now allow up to 30 minutes for comments from the public. The board will call speakers in the order in which they have signed up on the form provided. Each speaker is limited to no more than 3 minutes for speaking and must first state his or her name for the record. Comments should be directed to the board as a whole and should refrain from personal attacks or from addressing individual employees or citizens. Comments should also be limited to one topic. Detailed information about the public comment policy is available upon request. First, we have Marilyn J. Brooks.
Marilyn J. Menser. On Monday, January 26th, I sent the following email to the Harrison County Board of Supervisors. I called the Harrison County Auditor's Office this morning at 7:40 a.m. and spoke with Morgan Menser to request to be added to this week's meeting agenda. I am requesting this time to discuss additional information I received from the Iowa DNR and the Army Corps Engineers on January 16th, 2026. I believe there is a positive path forward for Harrison County residents and our local government to work together, and I would like to propose some of the ideas to the board. If they are available, I would appreciate the attendance of Thad Potast, Conservation Director, Matt Pitt, Environmental Administrator, David Shearer, Health Administrator, and Sarah Delante, County Attorney, as I consider them valuable resources in working toward a solution. However, their attendance is not a requirement for the discussion, but I would appreciate you extending the invitation to each of them. At 3:15, I received the following email from Brian Reif. I believe you have made an error in my email. That is correct. I'm sorry, that has been corrected. In regards to the agenda, the way we have been handling requests for the agenda items from the public is that the public can utilize the public comment section in our meeting to bring their concerns forward. If the board collectively agrees the subject matter requires action from the board, it is then placed on the agenda. I ask that you bring your matter before the board in the public comment section on January 29th meeting, and the board will then determine to place the issue on the agenda. I want to make myself clear, this is not a campaign issue. This is a Harrison County Board of Supervisors issue. This is an issue I decided to run on because it is important to the residents of Harrison County. I sent this on January 16th after the Harrison County TCE meeting to Matt Graish and to Scott Sawyer of the Army Corps. Good morning. Can you please provide me with a total number of acres the TCE has spread outside the missile site, looking at the residential well map of the Army Corps? Also, do you know the approximate number of residences through the entire testing area? Total count, including but not limited to test wells. I did receive a response from Matt Gaish and from Scott Sawyer. This is Matt's. Maryland, I will attach a map I made this morning showing all the wells in the vicinity known to the DNR and publicly available on the state's GIS server. There may potentially be another couple in existence that are newer than the data set, which is updated periodically. I do not know how many residences there are in the area, but you can check it on Beacon. I did some rough estimates on the state geographic map server. The total acreage is between 2,500 and 3,000 acres of Harrison County property. That's a lot of wells, a lot of people, and a lot of farmland. And that is why I asked to be put on the agenda, because there's things this Board of Supervisor
We're at 3 minutes.
can be doing. Thank you.
Next we have Michelle Sturts.
Michelle Sturts. Just a question, and maybe needs to be on the agenda for next week, now that I've listened this morning. You've talked a lot over the past month about budget, and I never really heard whether you had a set amount or you had a percentage that you were asking every department to cut out this year. I don't know if you did, and that was just my question. I don't know if you can answer it now, or if you have to put it on the agenda for next week. It's just, you've talked a lot about budgets, and I just wondered, since I didn't attend your budget meetings you had the last couple of meetings.
No decision has been made on that yet.
Okay, thank you.
Jackson Summers.
Gonna pass.
Okay. That's it.
Move to adjourn.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
No,
Opposed?
I don't think you have my email address. I didn't get that.
Okay, I know you didn't get it. I also want to share with you the map.